Is there a way you can attract people to read your biography because they can relate with it? How can you make your story more relatable? How can you help your reader feel immersed in your story, like they can almost identify themselves in your story, in your struggle? Stay tuned. Yes, it's really important, even in telling our story, to make sure that we find ways to draw in the reader. So I would love to read the story of anybody's life because it's something I'm fascinated by. But in general, people have more to take away from your story if they can see themselves in your story. And there's a very easy way of making your story relatable. You know, one simple way is to describe your struggles. Struggle is part of human existence, right? We all have different flavors of the human struggle. Everybody has theirs. But there's nothing as uplifting as reading about how somebody had an issue and found a way to thrive even with that issue, found a way to overcome a problem. It could be a health issue. It could be a family or marital issue. It could be a career issue. Really a variety of things. Did you immigrate to a new place and try to find your way around? Was it hard? What did you end up doing? Did you have relationship problems? Not necessarily relationship in the sense of dating and marrying, but even in the sense of friendships. Did you have somebody who betrayed you? How did you move on after the betrayal? Did you have, I already mentioned health issues, those can be huge. How about your children? Did you have children who had struggles you had to deal with, health struggles or otherwise? Did you have, were you estranged from a parent or your child even? How did you get over that? So I think that it's up to each one of us to decide which particular ones we want to share in our story. But whatever you decide to share, it is important to be honest about the struggles, the successes, and the failures, right? It's not every struggle that we actually get over. Some things we learn to live with. We learn to dance in the rain, like they say. But what was your journey to learning to dance in the rain, to learning to carry on even with a problem, counting your little blessings, amplifying the joys to enable you deal with the heartache, enable you deal with the pain and the hurdles? I think that's a fundamental part of growing up. You know, when we're younger, we think life gets easier, but I think life gets more complex. But we develop better coping mechanisms. And so finding a way to describe your struggle in your story and how you were able to cope with that, how you were able to thrive despite a struggle, is a very important way of making your story relatable. And in that way, you draw more people who want to read your story because they can see themselves in your struggle and they can actually walk away having learned one or two things about how to deal with the challenges in their own lives. I'll see you in my next video.